guys. Young man, why don't you have a seat right over here so you can see? You two guys, have a seat right here. Okay, good morning everyone. First I want to introduce myself. My name is Bruce and I'm going to take you through the Ion, which is the superstructure above the flight deck. And for those of you who are U.S. citizens, I want to thank you very much. You paid my salary for 32 years and this is my way of paying you back. Well, you're in primary flight control, which is just like the control tower over at Lindbergh Field. This is the area where the air controllers are for the mobile airport USS Midway. And sitting right here is the head air controller. We call him the boss. What's your name, boss? Zach. Zach. This is Commander Zach. He's been in the Navy about 20 years. He's a very senior naval aviator. And he's responsible for the airspace 2,500 feet over our head and 5 miles around the ship. And his primary assistant is called Tyler. This is Commander Tyler. He's been in the Navy about 19 years. He's also a very senior naval aviator. And he'll relieve Zach after a year or so, after he gets trained. And Zach will move off to a new job. These two guys are, again, are responsible for that space 2,500 feet above your head, 5 miles around the ship, including over 250 people all running around down on the flight deck like a chicken put a head cut off. It's one of the most dangerous places in the world. You can just imagine all the jets landing, being towed around. It's really a cacophony down there. It's loud. It's very dangerous. But you guys all have a job too, because you wouldn't be up here unless you were qualified naval aviators. And you know what you'd be called? You'd be called a tower flower, okay? Because the tower flowers are naval pilots who are not flying today. And what we do is we bring one guy up here from each squadron. So you might be an F4 pilot, you might be an A6 pilot, you might be an A4 pilot. You're all up here to be the technical expert to help the boss, the mini boss, in case anything goes wrong with that kind of aircraft. Let me give you an example. Let's say there was an F4 trying to land, like that F4 that's sitting right there in the landing area. It didn't have its hook down. Well, if it doesn't have its hook down, it can't land, can it? So the boss might turn to you, you're an F4 pilot, and say, hey, what do we got to do to get that guy to drop his hook? You don't know, we're in a big trouble. If you know how to spell, you know, H for hook. Look in the book over there inside that box. It says there's the red button. So you run over to the boss and you say, hey, tell that guy to push the red button. So the boss reaches for his radio phone and he calls up there looking at this plexiglass board. The plexiglass board.